Let's say we have 2-point charges. Let us call them A and point charge B. If they have the same sign, that is, if they are both positive, then they will repel each other. That is, they will be accelerated away from each other. And if they have opposite sign, that is, one of them is negative, then they will attract each other. That is, they will accelerate towards each other. From Newton's laws of motion, we know that if there is an acceleration, there has to be a force, and that force we call as electrostatic force. Coulomb was the first one to come up with a mathematical formulation for the electrostatic force, and hence it is named after him as Coulomb's law. Based on his experiments, Coulomb observed that the force was proportional to the product of the magnitude of those charges and inversely proportional to the square of distance between them. Here R is the distance between point charge A and B. He combined these two into a single formula, which we now call as Coulomb's law. F is equal to some constant of proportionality K times the magnitude of those charges, let's call them Q and capital Q, divided by R square, where R is the distance between those charges. For historical reasons, we write K as 1 over 4 pi epsilon naught, which is equal to 9 into 10 to the power 9 Newton meter square per coulomb. We can write this formula in vector form. That is, we can write force vector is equal to 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught Q times the other charge capital Q divided by the magnitude of the distance between them, the whole squared, times the unit vector r cap, where r cap points along the line joining Q and capital Q. If this is capital Q and this is small q, then r cap will be along this direction. This is Coulomb's law. Notice, epsilon is also a constant and it is called as permittivity of free space. Its value is equal to 8.85 into 10 to the power minus 12 Coulomb square per Newton meter square. Now we know how to calculate the force between any two charges. But what if we have more than one charge? Let's say we have a charge Q1, another charge Q2, and a charge small q. Then what will be the total force on this charge small q due to Q1 and Q2? Here we can make use of the principle of superposition. What it essentially means is that the interaction between any two charges, let's say between Q and Q1, is independent of the presence of other charges. So the force on small q due to Q1, let us call it F1, will be independent of the presence of Q2. So it will be equal to K times Q1 times small q over R square. Let's call it R1 square. R1 is this distance between capital Q1 and Q. And let's call the distance between Q2 and small q as R2. This will also be unaffected by the presence of charge capital Q1. Let us call the force on small q due to capital Q2 as F2. This will be equal to Q times capital Q2 times small q divided by r2 square. Then the net force on small q, let us call it F net, will be equal to the vector sum of F1 plus F2. And in general, if we have n number of particles, then we can simply add up to n number of forces due to n number of charges. This is the principle of superposition. Here these are vector equations. We can have a unit vector r1 and unit vector r2.